welcome to Mimi's Mixed Bag. Thank you for stopping by. I want to do a little intro here on my last Christmas project of this series and just say a huge thank you to all the sweet comments, emails, and questions I had regarding some of these projects, and I'm so glad that a lot of you enjoyed it. Today's video is another kind of vintage inspired oldie but goodie. This company called HTVront reached out to me a week or so ago. I think they first started out just selling vinyl that you put in your die cutting machine. I have bought products from them before. They've expanded way beyond vinyl. They blew up and they have expanded into one of the largest Amazon craft suppliers. They have their own website. They also are in some major retailers. Got an ask if I would showcase a couple of their products. Well, I immediately said yes because I knew this was a very legit company and I was honored that they were even interested in me. One of their products happens to just fit in perfect with this last project I want to show you. It is a 3D hanging snowflake. You know, I've been out of the classroom 12 years, but I made these every winter. I would make 6 or 8 of them and hang them from our acoustic ceiling, and they were so pretty. I'm going to take you to my craft table and let me show you what they sent me. And this is what HTVront sent me, was this huge roll of embroidery stabilizer. Now, I don't do any kind of embroidery, and when I suggested to them that I had an alternative use for this product, they loved that idea. This stabilizer fabric is what you put under fabric to give it a little bit of structure so it's easier to sew on. What I'm really anxious to test is if this is water resistant, because if it is, then it opens up a lot more opportunities to use this, because this craft has always been done with paper and you were just limited to the indoors. It is a huge roll. This is 12 inches wide and 50 yards. I'm going to make a 5-point snowflake, and out of this roll you could get 30 of those large snowflakes. If I do a 6-point snowflake, you could get 25. So either way, you get a lot of snowflakes out of this one roll to share with friends or whatever. Now, the snowflakes require you to have a square of paper or fabric. So, all right, I've got all my squares cut now. I've got 5 cut for one snowflake and I got 6 cut for another. So 11 squares total, 12 by 12. I actually miscut one of my squares, so I thought this is the one that I will go test in the water. I ran it under hot water, got it totally soaking. Now, I'm not sure if I say it's waterproof, but it is 100% water resistant. It did not dissolve. It has not separated. It is strong as fabric. I certainly am going to make some for my outdoor decorations this year. So that's super good news. You're going to do all of the squares the exact same. I'm going to fold it diagonally and then fold it diagonally again where you have this triangle. Now, I'll be honest with you, there are dozens of these paper snowflakes on YouTube. So instead of me kind of reinventing the wheel, you know, take this idea, look at some other paper snowflakes and use this stabilizer. When you get through folding it, you've got a totally folded side, you've got an open side, and you got 2 flaps right here, and you're gonna go parallel to the open edge. We're going to do 3 cuts about a good inch away from the edge. I'm just going to hold this up so you can see it again. The cut is parallel to the open side. So now I'm going to open it up. And now you're going to either use tape if they're indoor snowflake, or if they're outdoors, I recommend a stapler. Doesn't matter which way you hold it. We're going to match the center point and staple it. We're going to flip it over, take the next point, and do it around the back. Now, the smaller the snowflake, you're going to have to use tape because you can't get a stapler like that first one. Now you're going to flip it over again. Put the points together like that, and then one more time, flip it over, staple your points together. So here is the one spindle of my snowflake, and I'll show you how to staple them together. So let me just show you. I have each of my spindles kind of going in the same direction. On each side of my spindle there is a staple. So I'm going to staple each one together in the middle. We're staple to staple, okay? And then I'm going to staple the tips together Okay, and then when you do that, it pretty much just makes the circle shape. All right, friends, because of the heat, I decided to just hang these snowflakes from this doorway right here, just so I can show you what it looks like with them spinning and just tell you my thoughts about them. Now, this one is the 12-inch 5-point snowflake. Now, this would totally work, I think, up against a wall. There's a big difference now that I've made the 6-point with the 5-point. The 5-point looks pretty to look at, but as far as it spinning out in the yard or something, it just does not have the strength that the 6-point does. It kind of wants to bow a little bit. If you had it on a wall, it looks good. So now I'm going to hang up the 6-point and show you the difference. Here is the 6-point, and it is significantly bigger, just having that extra spindle on there. Just the overall strength of it and the way it just holds together, it makes a big difference. This one wants to bow just a little bit, I think only because doing the 12-inch squares, you are pushing the limits as far as how big you can make this. But the good thing is, the 12-inch does work. And you can see they almost fill up this doorway. They are literally 2 foot wide. And if you need some huge snowflake, this is certainly the way to go. Went ahead and decided to do a little smaller one just to see if that even made a bigger difference. With this being the 10-inch, it does require a little extra cutting, but this ensures probably the biggest and the strongest snowflake. I'm thrilled to know now that I can make these snowflakes for inside or outside. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this alternative use for this stabilizer fabric. I also wanted to mention that you could spray these with glitter and they are even more beautiful. Be sure and check out the HTVront link below for this roll of stabilizer fabric. So I'm going to insert a slideshow of some ideas of how you could use these oversized snowflakes in your home decor this winter. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.